Hello.
Hi,
Good evening.
good evening. I guess we're going to try this instead of our regular podcast.
Because we having problems.
Yeah. So, hi everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and Aaron is on the podcast Twitter right now.
Yes, his fabulous co-host.
We tried twice to do our regular video format, but we kept freezing. So here we are on the Twitter Spaces. And tonight we are once again covering a soap opera primetime special. This time we are talking about Another World, Summer Desire,
Summer Desire.
which aired on June 23rd, 1992. I guess there's no credits to roll now, Aaron.
No, not tonight. Unfortunately.
So, for this special, there were four couples that were prominent. The first one was Vicky and Ryan, who
Hmm.
seemed to be on the verge of breaking up, or they are breaking up. They're not on the verge. Because he's packing up his things to leave her because she allegedly slept with his father.
As one
Yeah.
does in soap opera land.
hmm Then we had Frankie Frame and Cass. I've heard the name Frankie Frame throughout the years, who are hot and heavy when Cass gets a phone call from a client thanking him for making her feel so good this afternoon, which sets off alarms in Frankie's head and she decides to interrogate him.
Hmm.
What did you think about them?
They're all right. I like Paulina the best. I just thought I love Judy Evans though, so getting to see her play someone that's different than Adrian or Bonnie was fun.
Yeah.
Because you could tell she is spicy and just if she wants it, she's going to get it. That's why I feel from her. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Just from this episode, that's what I get.
Yeah. Um, and she was with Jake in this episode.
Ooh, and her and Jake are such a cute couple.
She's all dressed up to go to this party for Dean, which is part of another couple that's on this episode. And Jake grabs her, throws him over his shoulder, and they go for a ride on his motorcycle,
Mm-hmm.
which ends up breaking down. And which do you think it was really broken down, or do you think he just like did this whole thing? Because
I think it was just all part of his master plan to get her where he needed her to be.
yeah, because they were awfully close to where they needed to be.
Yes.
So, so I mentioned Dean having a party, and he was played by Ricky Polk Holden, which I didn't even know he was on this. So
He looked familiar. So I was kind of like, I know him, but I couldn't place him.
he played Gus on Guiding Light, like the Gus.
Oh, yes. That's who he is. And then didn't he go to All My Children?
Yes.
Okay, yep. All right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we had him and curly haired girl who the whole episode I was trying to hear if anybody was saying her name and I just could not get her name until the promo at the end where they said Jenna and Dean. I was like, okay, that's her name, Jenna.
So I was reading about this special because I was just curious. Like they focused more on them because I guess they were a very popular couple.
Really? And see, they were the ones that I was least interested
So
in.
yeah, they were the. Maybe I'm wrong, but they had the most scenes of. I feel like the entire.
Oh yeah, they had flashbacks and
Yeah,
montages and dancing.
my favorite though the night was Paulina and Jake. I thought they were fun. I was very invested in them. They had very good chemistry.
Yeah, I they were my second favorite. I want to say they were my first because of Judy, but I don't know. There was something about the Vicky Angst storyline. that
Hmm.
it really pulled me in because she was the type of dramatic that I aspire to be.
Of course you do.
Like when they were dividing up all their things, like the towels and everything, and he was like, "I don't want the." She's like, "I don't want the towels. I just want you." I was like, "I know." Like I was like, "I don't know what's going on, but I feel you, girl."
I could see you waiting until he was out the door to say, "No, don't go." Like he's been in your house for a few hours now, but you wait till he's already exit the premises and then go for the "Please don't go. I'll win you back."
Just so I could dramatically slam the door. um, well, even just like her putting the music on and then having the daydream of them dancing and getting back together, I feel is like I fall for that every time.
Oh, I do too. I'm a sucker for play a song, have a little montage, whatever. I'm just like, oh,
And then when he like
where's my
storm
real life montage?
when he storms off to go into the other room, she kind of like hugs the towels and like dramatically lays her head down, and I was like, "Yep, I love it. I'm eating that shit
But
up."
that's Tommy. Yep, yep, that's Tommy.
I'm that person that's like, "I'm so thirsty. I wish I had water," and then I put the cup against my cheek, all dramatic.
Oh, that's what I loved about the beginning when they took like they were making sure everyone knew it was summer.
Yeah, the ACs were
Rubbing the
broken down.
the ace, rubbing the cold
Ice
ice
down your
on
neck.
their body. Everything was kind of dark, and that's why I said it reminded me of softcore Showtime porn.
All right, I got you now.
Just the little opening, like all I was waiting for, be like, oh, thank goodness, there's a big, strong man here to fix the AC. It's dripping, and so am I. I mean, I don't know, whatever. But
um, there was a guest appearance by Linda Dano as Felicia.
yes, I love her. See, when I think of Another World, she's one of the prominent figures I see.
Oh yeah, me
Like
too.
I remember her. I don't know why, but I guess it's because she was just a strong force.
Well, let's just go off topic slightly for a little bit. So your mom was a Days of Our Lives fan. Did she watch Another World also?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we were an NBC household. So my grandmother and my mom
Hmm.
were like Another World, Days in Another World.
Hmm.
Like so much so that like when Another World ended, that's why my grandmother continued like and watched Passions because it came on when Another World did.
Yeah, same.
So my
But we were
grandmother
we
watched
were
more of
excited.
Passions. My grandmother watched more of Passions than I did because she, out of habit, would just be sitting there at that time.
I think the only show I can say we didn't watch was probably I don't know if we watched Sunset Beach or like hardcore, just because in our time zone the time it came on was so early.
Well, yeah, here Sunset Beach came on at 12, then Days at 1, and then Another World at 2.
Oh, see, I think ours came on at 10 that morning.
Uh, yeah, my grandmother didn't watch Sunset Beach, but my mom did briefly. But Days in Another World were their shows, and I always remember like my them talking about Rachel Corey and like
Mm-hmm.
Vicky and Marley and Felicia.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just certain names that like stuck out throughout my childhood.
Same.
But I never actually got to see Another World while it was on.
It just wasn't as out there as Days, so I think that's why as a kid I wasn't pulled in.
Yeah, I wonder if
It's
they
very
got more
much,
Emmy love, like award show love than Days did.
but I also think towards the 90s, which would have been, it's on its the beginning of the end for Another World. Like their heyday was, I want to say 70s, I think, because they had two spinoffs
That's right.
and
They had
they
Texas.
Somerset,
Oh yeah, I forgot about Somerset.
and they were bumped up to 90 minutes there for a little while.
Oh, that's right.
So there was Another World was very popular for a while.
It's funny because it's funny. It ended at 35 years, and to me that feels like so young for a soap opera.
Well, yeah, it's my age.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're so young.
I'm so young and beautiful. Well,
Would you say you're bold and beautiful?
I say I'm young and restless.
Ah, Okay.
and only got one life to live.
um. So yeah, so Paulina and Jake, their bike breaks down, and they wander into a house where there is a justice of the peace waiting because Jake wants to get married.
I'm sorry. I loved how she was like, no, that's not happening. Like, essentially, she's just, no, we're not getting married now because I want this kind of wedding, and that's what I'm going to have.
Didn't the justice of the peace say, "Do you guys want to get married?" And they both like were like, "Yes."
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
They're
like,
like, yes. And I'm like, are you sure? So it's a
so
very heated yes.
I'm assuming they're already engaged, at least.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, in terms of primetime specials, this one didn't live up to primetime special hype.
I don't know. For some reason, I know like all the shows do this, but everybody seemed very like secluded and like just like
Mm-hmm.
boxed into their story,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess was the point because we were looking at four different couples, but I don't know. It just didn't like have a flow for me.
I wish the primetime specials would kind of be more of standalone.
I like how in the promo they promote it as a movie when it's only like the length of one episode.
I know. I'm Days did the same thing with one of theirs, and I'm just like, that is not a movie. That's not even a movie of the week.
They're like a primetime movie event. I'm like, are you sure though?
I'm like, no, that's what Sundays or Monday nights were for. But this
Um,
was right before the daytime Emmys.
yes, and I've noticed
So,
that with a lot of these primetime specials, they're like right before an award show. Not necessarily
so
the Emmys, but like a soap opera award show.
so it makes sense for that they would do that because typically if you're tuning in for that you probably watch the show,
Hmm.
so it makes sense why they would do that.
Yeah, which is cool. Give you a little something to whet your
Yeah.
appetite for the awards. Also, a good way to like promote your show for people to come watch it on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you catch the Days of Our Lives promo in the
I
middle?
sure did and was like, who the fuck are these people? I didn't know one of them.
You didn't know who Michael Easton was?
Well, I know who he was, but the characters, I was like, who are you playing? Who are you supposed to be?
Did you
I do
recognize
not know you.
Molly from Savannah? She plays
Molly?
Reese, the blonde in the promo. She's Reese from Savannah.
What? No,
Yeah,
I did not pick up on that.
yeah, yeah. Tanner and Molly.
Well, that was quite interesting.
It's fine. You were a baby.
I was what?
You were a baby.
I was.
um. So Dean is our apparently a rock star, and he's getting ready to go on tour. And Jenna wants to have like a romantic evening with him. It looked like they were on a rooftop, right?
I thought so at one point. I also think it's interesting that didn't Days do this rock star type storyline as well around the same time?
Uh,
Wasn't it Melissa and Eve?
oh, maybe. I think I haven't seen that, but I've read stuff like that. So maybe.
Dude with curly hair mullet, I think.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh, Jennifer dated him
Yes.
and she was gonna marry him. That's when Jack kidnapped her.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Investo, uh, Emilio, or something.
Emilio, yeah.
I know how to get there.
Ernesto was the cruise of deception.
I was around the same time.
Yeah, actually it was. I think it was the same year. Um, so yeah, so they're having a romantic night, and that's when they get all their flashbacks to like they like a they were in New York at some point, and I'm like, well, the show films in New York, so that was an easy location to shoot.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was.
And they get a dance montage, And then she does the thing that I feel like is only romantic on TV and I wouldn't think was romantic in real life. She bought him a star. Like a star up in the sky so that they could
Yeah.
both look at it and know that they're thinking of each other. I'm like, oh God.
Uh-huh. It's like, oh, well, okay. Yeah, if someone ever bought me a star, I don't know that'd be like, oh, how romantic. I'd probably be like, that's a waste of fucking money. You could just tell me that's my star and print up your own piece of paper. Who's
I
gonna
know,
say,
I'd
oh,
probably be like, oh, can you get a refund? Can you return it?
did you get a receipt? I'd like to return this gift.
No, I don't want store credit.
I don't want to exchange it for another star. I don't even want this star. Unless you can get me a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
So that was pretty much their story. He's going
Mm-hmm.
off on tour and they got a star and then they have a dance montage. Um, I was really like into the music though. Like
Oh, I was
I
too.
miss like having a soundtrack on a soap opera.
I will. Okay. After that, I had to look up. They played a song, and I had to look it up so I could find it and listen to it. But then that led me to listening to the theme song that was in the '90s. You know, like "Take You Are My World." You
Yes.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's an actual song. I did not know that, so I had to. That led me to making a Queers and Soaps playlist on Apple Music. If you want to go find it and follow it, I will be putting music from all of our favorite soap operas on there. Right now we have like that what's that Bone Hope song, the Hero,
Oh, tonight I celebrate my love for you.
that one, and then the Hero,
I need a hero.
I Need a Hero. Why was that so hard to figure out? um and then there's a
You should
couple other.
add Can't Live Without Your Love by Kelly Moneymaker.
Okay, I'll have to remember to add that
When
one.
you hear it, you'll know it because they've danced to it a few times.
Okay. So that's something I want to start doing. When we watch soaps and they play the music, I'm going to start putting those in a playlist.
That's fun.
Right, I love a good playlist.
And that's on Apple Music.
That's on Apple Music. I'll make it for Spotify too, but that will be in the coming days probably.
Okay. Something to look forward to.
I like to be versatile during my summer desire.
um, so Vicky and Ryan, that pretty much ends. We already talked about it with him
Mm.
leaving and her screaming, "Damn it, Ryan! I'm I'm gonna get you back!" Slams door
I
and
know
doesn't lock the deadbolt like he told her to.
all I could think about was like how Sammy used to do things. Austin, you'll be mine. We'll be together.
um, she couldn't get her engagement ring off because I guess she was
Oh,
swollen
because
because
the
of the
heat.
heat.
I'm like, I was thinking, girl, I live in the South and I've always been able to take off one of my rings.
So Cass and Frankie Frame had like this obnoxious scene that is such a TV, not trope, but TV scene. And more specifically, a soap opera scene where she puts him on trial for love and interrogates him about his past. You know, like his name is Cass. I wonder if that's short for Casanova.
I don't know. I remember. I just remember him and Lena Dano's character being like a major couple.
Yeah, I remember them, and I remember Rachel and Mac.
Hmm. He's the ponytail guy, right? White hair,
No,
ponytail.
no, because
No.
I think Mac dies, and then Rachel ends up with him, and I don't know his name.
Okay. See, that's how much I remember. Like I remember those type things, but
Yeah,
oh,
I remember he scared me as a kid. The ponytail guy.
really? He did kind of
Yeah,
have that evil kind of
yeah,
feel.
yeah. I don't know. Whenever I would see him on commercials, I'd be like, "Oh," he'd give me like the chill.
Unsolved Mystery guy chills, or
Yeah,
just
like Unsolved Mystery Guy chill.
that guy still gives. I will watch Unsolved Mysteries, and I will still go. I need to. Thank goodness John's here, because I'm gonna go to sleep.
um, And Jake and Paulina agree that they don't have to rush into getting married, and they kind of have their honeymoon and end up in what looked like a barn.
Uh-huh.
And
Because, where does one go when they have nowhere else to go? In a barn or a cabin.
and
Let's recreate the.
they give into their summer desire and make
Yeah,
love.
oh yeah, they let those summer desires go. The
um,
only ones not giving into their summer desires was Vicky and Ryan.
she, she
They were
wanted
like,
him to. In her fantasy, they did.
yeah, but he was like, fuck this summer desires.
Yeah, but so he was like in such a rush to pack and leave, and he was like, "I'm so done, like I'm moving on." Meanwhile, he just like stood. He had all his stuff still packed in his hands, and he was just standing outside, staring out the window.
And she's looking out the window too. I'm just like,
And then he takes the picture out that he dropped and broke the glass on and kisses it. I'm like, "You're gonna cut your lip. Why'd you do that?"
he wanted her to cut him one last time.
Ooh, that's deep. So I think that was pretty much all that happened.
Hmm.
Um,
It wasn't the worst. I was still more entertained with this than the Young and the Restless primetime special.
you always say that. I feel like you hate the Young and the Restless.
I don't hate the Young and the Restless. I'll say something controversial. I don't always get the hype for it.
It definitely moves slower than most shows.
I'm not saying it's bad. I would never say that. I don't know.
It's
It's kind of like, I guess it's like General Hospital. I can't connect with the characters like I can with other soap operas.
well, every soap has its own personality. Maybe that's just not your type of soap.
Yeah, I just sometimes feel like Young and the Restless comes off snobby. But I love Bold and the Beautiful, and they're very similar.
Well, there you
So I don't understand why I just
go.
had much love for the Young and the Restless.
Maybe you just like the characters better on Bold.
Maybe it's because I was forced to watch it as a child.
Oh, the Young and the Restless.
Yes, because you had to watch in between Price is Right and the news was the Young and the Restless. So I had to suffer through those three things to get to Days of Our Lives.
All right.
So
Well,
maybe I
how
have
would?
some childhood trauma.
Yeah, I got that. Like my. Oh, I think his name was Carl Hutchins. That was the long haired guy. I don't know why a full name just came to me, but
I know you had full name. You went from not knowing a thing besides he terrified you to a full name.
well, also I should note that when the show ended, they came out with like a 35th anniversary book, and this was before I had ever even started watch soap operas. And I
Hmm.
would just like flip through that book and read random facts, and my grandmother would like fill in the gaps. So there are things that I know. I just don't know that I know them because they're in like the abyss of my brain. But I'm sure if I watch stuff, they would come out.
I would. I mean, I wish we could have that play. I remember when SoapNet started playing Another World, and I really wanted to watch it. I just didn't. Um,
It came on at weird hours here. Like they had it on at like midnight,
yeah, same.
and I was like, I'm not staying up for that. I have school.
Yeah. But now supposedly PNG has lost all the soap tapes. So
Yeah, is that a rumor that's just going
I
around because
I
of all
have
the days speculation?
I have no clue, but they're gonna if they did and Days puts all theirs out and it's a hit, they're gonna hate that they did that. They could have sold that
They're gonna
catalog.
need to hit up some fans for their tapes.
I need your tapes. Give me your tapes.
We need to clean them up and make them HD. So how would you rate this special, like on a scale of 1 to 10?
7.
Oh, yeah, I'd give it a 7 also. I think that's fair.
Because I mean, I didn't hate it.
So last primetime special, we said that Days of Our Lives, Night Sins, and General Hospital, Twist of Fate were kind of on even footing.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say it's below them,
Yeah, it's below them
but
for me.
better than One Stormy Night, or below that also?
Below One Stormy Night as well,
But above YNR.
but above YNR.
And where does Winter Heat fit into all this for you?
Yeah, that wasn't a fave of mine. I'd put it on the same level as This Summer Desire. I didn't
Okay.
hate it.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we're getting to watch these primetime specials.
I know, me too. Aren't there a few? There's one more, right? That we have?
Um, there was a One Life to Live one, but I don't think it was shot as a primetime special. I think it was just a daytime show that aired during
Oh,
the
okay.
evening. At least that's what I was told, kind of to bridge the gap so that I guess a cliffhanger would align, maybe.
Okay. Got it.
But we could watch it since it aired in primetime. And
Just to compare it.
I think Y&R may have had other primetime specials. I gotta look into that and see if I can get them.
Okay. All right.
But do you have anything else to say about this one?
I do not.
All right. Well, as always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And hopefully, next time you see us, you'll actually see us on video.
We won't have technical difficulty.
We're not used to this doing, the basic, like what a podcast should be, which is audio. So it's a little like jarring for us.
We're narcissistic gays. We like to see ourselves.
All right. Well, until next time, have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.